Hello from Tiny Student Housing. It's August. I am 16 whole months on T. So let's talk about it. Um, Finally starting to get some body hair. Only took me damn near a year and a half. And it's not even enough that anybody who's not me would notice. So I guess that it doesn't really matter. I've got a small little tuft of chest hair just right here, just chilling in between my scars. But again, I'm blonde. Nobody's gonna see that. And I've got the beginnings of a happy trail going up towards my belly button, and then like just a little line in between those two patches on my torso. So that's happening, which is exciting, I guess. That's really about all that's happening. I think that my voice is finally starting to actually settle. I can get up into my upper register without having to strain the way that I was having to strain before. Um, my voice is really raspy, though, in the upper range, which is different. But I guess when you go from a mezzo soprano to a baritone in the span of like 2 months, then some things are going to be different. So that's what's going on. Um, at least as far as T changes and testosterone and what have you. So I just transferred to the University of Houston for my master's degree, for those of you who don't know. And I spoke with the head of their LGBT resource center. Apparently there is a way to have my student ID reflect my preferred name. I've done that. That was actually fairly simple. My student ID now says Liam. It's pretty great. Although I'm a little worried how that's going to be with male. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, so I'm having this conversation with the head of the LGBT resource center. And we're talking. She's asking what year I'm in. She's asking how I'm doing, how my transition is, how long I've been in transition. She's asking what my background was from my undergrad. And then as I'm leaving, she asks me, she said, do you have any more questions? I said, no, ma'am, I don't think so. She said, well, I have one for you. We try to get members of the queer community to come and, speak on the Speakers Bureau panel. That basically these guys are who we call in to speak to their own experience and, provide a human experience, a human story to relate to LGBT people, and would I be at all interested or willing to participate in that panel? And of course, I accepted. I said, of course, that would be no problem. I just immediately, upon arrival to campus, is when they got me, which is pretty. I don't know. I think it's funny. I did a lot of that work over at UTA, and just to continue and to have the opportunity to continue just kind of thrust upon me as soon as I get here was both entertaining and exciting. So that's fun. So yay for life updates. And then I got asked recently what being gender fluid means for me. And of course, being gender fluid means a lot of things for a lot of different people. I think for me, it ultimately comes down to freedom. I do not appear gender fluid in public. I feel as though I come across fairly cisnormative, maybe not heteronormative. I think I get taken for gay a lot, which is fine. Whatever, nobody cares. However, that my gender queerness itself isn't as easily read on my person as it may once have been. Um, so I have this weird public versus private thing, but ultimately, I think for me, gender fluid means that I can play with those lines in any way that makes me comfortable, and I don't have to answer for it or explain myself. Um, and I don't know that I necessarily have to explain myself and justify myself regardless of what my gender identity is. Um, However, having that having that expectation of non-expectation, I think, is really nice and really freeing to have. I hope that was articulate enough. Again, that's just my experience. Other people's experiences, other people's identities. They may tell you something different. I don't. It is what it is, and everything's totally fine. Anyway, so that was my video. 16 months. See you again in another 2, and maybe we'll have some more things to talk about. All right.